born in the Middle East and sent to Atlantis to help organize their civilization. Jehuti, Thoth the Atlantean, was one of the most important architects of the Atlantean era. He became known as Thoth, or Thoth, to the Egyptians, and Hermes Trismegistus to the Greeks. Working with the people of Sirius, he designed and helped to build the temples along the Nile, in accordance with the sacred geometry codes of the universe, to create the path of enlightenment. These temples were intentionally aligned with chakra points so that an initiate opened the portals of wisdom within themselves and connected with universal consciousness. An initiate completing this path could transcend our earthly existence by discovering the keys to building new realities. These teachings have been passed down to us in the 7 Hermetic laws contained within the Kabbalion, within the Emerald Tablets. All right, that was a rather dramatic intro. Just having a little fun on this 26th day of the new year of 2023, which is the divine alignment of 7. We have left 2022, which was gematria code for 6. But now we are in divine organization, divine planning. And I want to share with you, my dear, esteemed, honorable, notable, and fortunate viewer, once again, because now I am going to share with all 3 or 4 of you who watch these videos another source, another bright, shining light of the new earth, of consciousness, which is Matthias De Stefano. Of course, he is well known through Gaia Network and his shows that he's done. However, I'm not sure if many of you know about his YouTube video offerings that he's been, every day, and he's been traveling all over the world with his mission as a divine architect, as one of Jehuti's Thoth spiders. And so this video, and I'll put the link in this video offering, Matthias De Stefano talks about the divine plan and the Egyptian concept of bringing heaven to earth. And this video that I watched, and it was quite by chance, sometimes I'll doze off and leave YouTube playing, and it'll cycle through videos, and then as I'm kind of coming to consciousness, it's the synchronicity oftentimes is very impactful, because as I'm kind of coming back into this world, this 3D collective earth dimension, and if a certain YouTube video is playing, it can be very impactful with the information, because at that twilight moment when you're coming to consciousness from your sleep, that twilight, that merging of the 2 worlds is very powerful, and can be very powerful opportunity for manifestation. And this video from Matthias, he's talking about spiders, and he's talking about how spiders built their webs. He talks about how the term architect arose from the ancient wise men, the ancient shamans, healers, priests, the people that were actively engaged in knowledge, the gathering of knowledge, and And so anyway, this video was very healing for me because I'm going to tell you, I mean, I've been bitten by almost every kind of venomous, poisonous creature that you can be, and several times it was pretty bad. I mean, I've been bitten by centipedes that are the venom of a centipede is like 100 times more venomous than a wasp sting. And it was when I was doing infantry maneuvers with light infantry out in Hawaii, and so I was stuck out in the bush. And anyway, that was an experience. I've been bitten by brown recluse spiders. I've been, and all of that stuff. It was managed. I was able to, kind of come over, deal with the effects of the venom and the necrotic effect and all that stuff. However, it leaves, at least within my mind matrix, it leaves a dark energy of fear, of trepidation, if you will. Fear may be strong, but yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've kind of like, big spiders and whatnot, and part of it's because it is an alien sort of looking appearance, and also I've had some pretty tough experiences. A couple of times, gone to the emergency room to take care of some spider, pretty intense spider bites and necroticism that comes about as a result of all that. So anyway, I have a history with those creepy crawlies and the venomous effects and necrotic manifestations. And so this video was healing for me because it put a new understanding, a new dimension of light, of consciousness within my mind about spiders and in particular their webs. And so this video is very, I mean, beyond being healing for me personally and my personal, psychosis or psychology, what have you. This video is very, it's just full of knowledge, and because it explains how Thoth, Jehuti, was a universal architect, how building, taking this knowledge and modeling upon how the spider makes its webs and all that, and all the intricacies that go into that, was essentially ties into this concept of an Egyptian concept. I think he called it Antuhuti, but he says it in the video. I forgot it already, but it's bringing heaven to earth. And it's like we are all, each one of us who are online with this, have this passion within us to change, to bring, knowledge and consciousness to this world that we all collectively share. This video is very powerful on that level because it's full of knowledge. It reveals, it gives me a new understanding completely of Thoth, of Jehuti, however you want to say it. But so bringing heaven to earth, and that's what Matthias is talking about in this video, as the grand architect, as tejedor, or expandir, to plan something is essentially stems from like the Latin word expandir, but tejedor, architecting, architectos. So this video is just full of that information. I'll leave the link for it. And then one thing interesting he says in this video that I completely resonate with, and maybe you do too, you will resonate with this. But even though starting in 2020, things began to change and there was this chaos in the outer world, he says this, that even though these years can be considered traumatic and bad, starting in 2020, 2021, and even 2022, and depending on what timeline you're on, it could continue to get worse or it can continue to get better. But he makes the point that because he was living his plan, which is to bring heaven to earth, to expand consciousness, expandir consciousness, because he was living his plan, it didn't matter that he was traveling around living in hotel rooms or any of that, but he was living his plan and he was expanding. He was doing what he came here on this planet to do, which was to expand consciousness. And so it's like, you know, from a capitalistic standpoint, and he uses that word, and I like that perspective, you know, of consuming, you know, yeah, it's been different for everybody, and and I can speak for myself personally, but because I feel like I got online with what I was supposed to be doing, and I'm, you know, and I'm doing what I can, you know, and truth be told, I'm actually doing this for me. I mean, you know, I mean, there's these videos aren't very well professionally produced or whatnot, but it helps me to learn by sharing this information. And sometimes it's impactful for people. You never know the synchronicities. Someone might see a video I talked about back in 2021, prior to August. But I remember seeing a video from this little kid that he made up, this little kid. And I mean, well, I say little kid, but he was probably like, you know, 18 or so. And he was kind of a little chaotic, you know, like I think he may have some substance abuse issues, but he had just made this video and he put it on, and I got it on a Google search, his YouTube video. But what he said, the information that he was sharing, and it was just he was just sitting in his room and with his webcam on his computer and recorded himself talking about wanderers and soul swap, like, you know, and all this stuff. But he had this knowledge, you know, and it was speaking to me, and it's what I needed to hear. And I believe that's how this all works. So don't ever, you know, be, if you feel that you have a message to share with the collective, don't ever be daunted or dismayed by, because, oh, well, I don't have this or I can't do that. Just, if you can get a video recorded and put your truth or share your message, do it. It does not matter. You know, obviously I'm proof of that. And, but, you know, just share. And that's what Matthias is doing. And he shared at a very synchronistic moment for me, what was a healing moment, where I was, what he was talking about, the spiders and them building their webs, and he likened it, or no, he said that is what Thoth and Jehuti and all these priests that's what they studied, how the spider, it has 8 limbs, 8 eyes. He talked about the tetradact, or the type of geometric shape that's a cube, the 4 points of the cube within another, and there's another cube inside of it with 4 points, and how those 8 points create this 4th, 5th dimensional concept that we can see, you know, like, and it's, wow, tetradact or something like that. Anyway, I'm kind of still thinking about spiders. But anyway, that video, I'll leave the link in there for Matthias. And incidentally, another favorite YouTuber of mine, Sam the illusionist, one of his last videos, he talks about Matthias de Stefano, and he did a soul reading on Matthias. And he says, you know, Matthias's lineage and soul path is legit, that he really did live in Atlantis, and he was, you know, a warrior, and they were invaded by the negative Orions. And so anyway, another great YouTuber, Sam the Illusionist. But I wanted to share this video from Matthias, and I'll leave the link for here because it's very impactful, a lot of information. And, you know, he talks about where the path he's been on, because, you know, things may be different than when he was on Gaia, but he's expanding his truth, and he's bringing heaven to earth. And because he's involved in his mission, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter that, you know, he's living in hotel rooms. It doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. He is doing what his soul mission is, and that is the lesson, is to connect with your inner spider, connect with your inner soul, and begin to weave your web, begin to weave your version of heaven on this earth, bring heaven to earth. And that is how we all collectively open the golden door to the golden age timeline of the new earth, the golden portal. That's how we get to the golden portal, step over the threshold of the golden, of the new earth golden age timeline. And hitting that subscribe button too, that's gonna help a hell of a lot. Namaste, namaskaram.